Howdy, Immortallium here. Today I thought we'd do something a little different. Basically, this is going to be my top 5 anime. Now, keep in mind that this is just, the top 5 that I have seen and that I have owned. If there is an anime that isn't mentioned here and you think, oh my god, it's brilliant, then, what I recommend is you simply put it in the comments. Just say, I don't know, let's take Trigun, say, because I've yet to see Trigun. So, just say Trigun, ? And I'll post a comment saying, I have not seen it, or I have seen it, and if I have seen it, why isn't it in the, whatever. But before we go on to the top 5, I just like to do what I call honourable mentions. Basically, even though these anime, may not have, reached the peak of perfection that my top 5 have, they're still excellent anime, and I still recommend highly that you check them out. So first up is honourable mentions, a series called Bacano. Now, if you're not aware of Bacano, basically it is awesome. Basically, the story is told non-linearly. There's a great cast of characters, very memorable, fantastic English dub. The reason that it isn't, in the top 5 probably is that the last 3 episodes just failed to reach the level of quality that the first 13 did. Now, I know the last 3 are like OVAs, so they're technically not part of the series, but still, they failed to maintain the quality that was set out before them. Next up, of course, is Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. Now, this is just season 2 here, but I include all of standalone complex. Seriously, standalone complex is an amazing series. Fantastic animation, great cast of characters. My only real gripe with it is that in the first season, there's like in the middle of the first season, there's way too many standalone stories. There isn't enough progression in the main story. And in the second season, it's less clear, what if an episode is relevant or not, and all that jazz. So, besides that, it is an excellent series, and I would highly recommend you check it out. Next, a series that I'm actually rewatching at the moment is called Noeen. Now, Noeen is like a science fiction series dealing with parallel universes and all that jazz. Really awesome action scenes, fantastic sci-fi elements, great cast of characters again, beautiful animation design. The only gripe that I have with this series really is that, for one, it can be slow moving at the beginning, and 2 is that its ending is kind of anticlimactic. So, that does dock down some points. Next is Welcome to the NHK. Seriously, this series is awesome. I mean, the characters are so memorable. It deals with a hikikomori. A hikikomori is someone in Japan who, spends all their time inside, unable to socialize. My biggest issue with Welcome to the NHK is that its animation. Like, in some episodes the animation can be really good, but then other episodes the animation just, drops like a rock. Still though, I love this series. The characters are amazing. The situations they get in are amazing. My biggest issue is the animation, and the ending wasn't too great either, I thought, but whatever. Next we have Bamboo Blade, the only sports anime that I own, dealing with a sport called Kendo, which is basically, swords and all that, except made of bamboo, and you have to hit each other and all that. It's kind of like fencing, but more force and accuracy involved. Again, it has great cast of characters, very good animation, a great style of humor. The only issue that I can find with it is that it ends on a big cliffhanger, which is never resolved, and the fact that its story can be fluffy at points. Now, it's still a fantastic anime. I highly recommend it. My last honourable mention, many people wouldn't even consider this a great anime or even a good anime, but this anime holds a special place in my heart because, it introduced me to the world of anime. I still enjoy the characters and their situations and everything, and I would rank it as one of the better animes that I have seen. It is, of course, Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. Again, I really love the characters. The animation while not always fantastic, is generally of a high quality. The stories I love as well. So, you know, those are all honourable mentions, and I would recommend you go and seek out every single one of them. But before that, we have my top 5. These top 5 now are, in my opinion, near perfection. Seriously. So, let's get started. So, my very first one, at number 5, I can pretty much guarantee that if you look up top 5s, that this is probably the only one that contains this anime. It's not too well known, a lot of people have seen it and hated it, but I love it because of its epic storyline and its characters and the animation and everything. Again, it's Rin, Daughters of Nemosyne. And basically, one of the reasons I love this anime so much is because of the fact that it's set over a period of 70 years. The lead 2 characters in this series are immortal. So we get to view like the changes in the world and the changes to the supporting cast all around them, while they themselves never change. And I find that an amazing idea. Now, it gets a lot of criticism for its, you know, sexual and violent content. You know, even in the world of anime, it's still extremely violent and extremely sexual. But I just think, you know, that its storyline is amazing, its cast are amazing, that it is one of my favourite anime, and, you know, you can criticise it all you want, but, you know, it's not going to change my opinion. Okay, number 4, we have a series that I only just saw recently, Clannad. Clannad is just, seriously, it's so emotional. The characters are just amazing characters, amazing story. I've actually gotten a little emotional just talking about it. The animation is just stunning. It's hard to even talk about. It's just one of those experiences that is just, you know, an emotional roller coaster ride. It's seriously, if you have not seen Clannad or Clannad After Story, I seriously recommend you go check it out. It has its issues at points, you know, there's some bits of it that, you know, could have been a little better, but it doesn't replace the fact that this series is just, it's just really, really emotional. Next, we have perhaps the one of the first anime I've ever seen, and I think it was the first manga that I ever read completely, but this is one of the first anime I ever saw. Death Note. Now, Death Note, the only reason it is not higher is because of the fact that this, you know, the last third of it, you know, isn't as good as the first 2/3. Now, many people say that the last third is crap. Do I think that? No. I think the last third is still excellent. The only issue is that it does not reach the level of quality that was set out by the first 2/3. Now, you know, with Death Note, I barely need to describe it, but just in case you don't know Death Note, it's basically about this guy who finds a Death Note, which is something that, you know, you write the person's name and then they die and all that jazz. Amazing story, amazing characters again. And the animation done by Madhouse is just, you know, beautiful, you know. Even though there isn't too many action sequences in it, it just really, really supplements it. I really highly recommend that you get Death Note. And it's kind of cheap now as well on Amazon, so I recommend that. Next, we have something that got a re-release recently. It was out of print for a while, but it's come back into print now, thank God. So I was able to finish it off finally. We have Code Geass. Code Geass, I do rank above Death Note. You know, there's the whole debate, oh, is Code Geass better than Death Note or worse than Death Note? In my opinion, it's better because of the fact that the last half of Code Geass is still really good. Maybe not as good as the first, you know, half, but it's still damn good. You know, it's still, you know, emotional. It's still amazing. The storyline's amazing. The characters are amazing. You know, this is a series with plot twists, with, you know, giant robots fighting each other and everything. It's just is amazing. And I would just, you know, it definitely deserves, in my opinion, its rank as second best anime of all time that I've seen. I don't know. And finally, this is a very new series. People may or may not be happy that this is my number one, because a lot of people, you know, look at the cover and they go, "Oh my God, are you serious?" But it's such a deceiving cover. You have Puella Magi Medico Magica. Now, in case you're not aware of what Puella Magi Medico Magica is, it's a 12 episode series by an animation studio called Shaft. It's original. It's you know, not based on a manga or anything. It's what people, if you ask people what Puella Magi Medico Magica is, they'll probably say it's a dark deconstruction of the magical girl genre. Now, that might be the first thing they say. The thing is, before Puella Magi Medico Magica, I had never seen a magical girl show. I don't think I even watched Sailor Moon when I was young, and I only read Sailor Moon, the first half of it at least, after this. So I had no experience with, you know, magical girls or anything. And yet, when I came into this series, I was just blown away by the, you know, amazing characters, the amazing storyline. You know, it's dark, and, you know, that people go, "Oh my God, you know, it's amazing because it's a dark magical girl show." Yes, that helps, but, you know, that isn't what makes this series memorable. What makes this series memorable is its amazing characters, its amazing storyline, the emotion that can be evoked in it. It truly is one of the greatest masterpieces that anime has ever produced. And I highly doubt that there are many people who will disagree on that. The only issue I have with this, and it's not even an issue with this show, is that its English dub isn't that great. Now, it's perfectly serviceable as an English dub, but seriously, when you watch the Japanese dub, you know, the Japanese just blows away the English, and really there's no reason then not to watch the Japanese. So, you know, if you have to watch this series, watch it in Japanese. It's just the better idea. And seriously, this show is just one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Now, I have no issue hyping it up because it was so utterly hyped up when I went to see it, and it still met my expectations, and very few things can do that. So, that's my top 5 anime, along with some honourable mentions. Hopefully you'll be able to check out these shows. You know, I'd like to hear your comments if you have seen them, you know, and all that jazz. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and bye-bye.